fight of the night. We're going to welcome our first fighter out of the red corner. Please all welcome Alejandro Bautista.
Grady Colson, you got to park a little jog away and then kind of make your way over here. But we are here just in time for the first youth kickboxing fight. Hard to believe these kids are youth. These are some big kids.
This kid's twice my size.
Yeah.
Next up, blue corner fighter is Aiden.
I believe these young men are about 16 years old.
They look like they're ready to pay taxes.
They got facial hair, you know. I mean, they look like grown men. You're right. They look like they have insurance copays.
Well, I'm ready to see some grown men hands from them.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Your first fighter looking to get his first win in the cage tonight, fighting out of TKO out of Statesville, North Carolina. It's Alejandro Bautista. And his opponent also looking to get their first win in a kickboxing match out of the blue corner, fighting out of Ronin Kickboxing out of Woodleaf, North Carolina. It's Aiden Bauer. Controlling the action in the cage is Dale Fry.
Two very big kids in there to start us off here for our youth kickboxing match. We've got Bautista in the red gloves and Bowers in the blue. Third man in the cage is Dead Body Dale Fry.
Bauer seems to have found his range already.
I definitely believe that it is true for amateur kickboxing and amateur MMA. Perhaps it's also true for youth, but whoever comes out with more aggression, usually they get ahead because, especially in debuts, you know, people have like first fight jitters, right? They freeze a little bit.
Early on, I've always noticed that if people are like pretty green to the fight game, the person who's more aggressive tends to get a huge upper hand early on.
There's also the idea of like a student understanding like sparring pace versus a real fight. And you get hit really hard and you're like, oh, I'm in a real fight.
Bauer's good at throwing some knees. He's landed quite a few already early on. He's got a full plum clinch here too.
Yeah, and Dale will let you work in the clinch for a while.
Yeah, and Bautista's not really working hard to try and break free of that clinch.
Aiden, your jab first.
Batista's with that TKO team. I know that they are highly regarded for their clinch game, so I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, Bauer's coming in again, looking for some good tie-ups here. Controlling him, he has Bautista against the cage.
It's so interesting, the kickboxing fights, the way they play out a little differently in the cage than in the ring as well.
Yeah, because you have a little bit more backing when you hit the edge than if you hit the ropes.
Exactly.
I'm very impressed with Bowers' clinch game early on.
Yeah, he looks strong.
Yeah, landing good knees. Look at that. Using the plum tie up there to basically manhandle Bautista to the mats. It's a good slip.
Yeah, it looks like Bautista really wants to box, wants to get inside boxing and punching range. He's struggling against that front kick in the clinch.
Yeah, and he's definitely got more of a boxing type of stance. And this is where Bowers is showing a little bit more fight IQ, understanding the rule set here.
Oh, but he just got popped big by Bautista.
The crowd is loving it.
Right at the end of the round, Bautista hit him with a big shot, and the crowd here exploded.
And we've still got plenty of hours left in the night, so I can only imagine how the crowd's going to react all night.
34 fights total here tonight at Fight For It. 7. If you bought our pay-per-view stream, you are likely to get your money's worth in that many fights, let me tell you.
And is there nothing you love more than just fight nights?
I mean, especially this kind where it's like a little bit of everything. We're getting to we're getting the kickboxing, we're getting MMA. I think there was a jiu-jitsu on here originally, but
it's
youth
like
MMA.
One championship pretty much, and they're finding a lot of success with viewership.
Did you see that Thailand event today?
Oh,
It's
man.
so violent.
Yeah, and it's amazing, when you mix different martial arts like that, people are entertained.
Can't wait for the first bare knuckle Fight For It fight.
Let's see who starts coming out aggressively in round 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Bautista kind of turns it up a little bit here on the aggression, because he did have that moment of success at the end of the round.
Yep.
But he just kind of wades out and waits for Bowers to make the first move again.
Yeah, could have been pacing himself, and like you said, we're going to see how their cardio lasts, because it's very different fight cardio versus sparring cardio.
Exactly.
Good knees again from Bowers.
Yeah, it's a saving grace for him now, because at the punch range, it does seem like Bautista has a slight edge.
Using that full plum to kind of rotate Bautista. Dale breaks him up there. There we go. Now we're seeing a little success with the teep. Oh, wow. Manhandles Bautista to the mat again.
I mean, that is one of the biggest problems when you come into a kickboxing fight as a boxer, is you're just forward, forward, forward. And a good Thai fighter can really take advantage of that.
Yeah, you see Bowers using a lot of straights with the teep and then immediately clinching up and just knees after knees. And sounding from his corner, it looks like that's what he's been training, getting ready for this fight. Nice. Rotates him again off of the knees. I'm very impressed with these two youths, honestly.
I mean, for debut fighters, yeah, absolutely.
Fighting has come so far since when I started.
Yeah, Trevor and I were talking about that recently, where it was like the things you would see in the main event of the UFC 15 years ago, you can see in an amateur fight now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's caught up so much, and especially like if you look at how far women's MMA has come in that time, it's insanely the talent level on display is just insanely high now.
I was the first Fight For It after COVID. I knew everybody was training during COVID because everybody came out with so much skill.
Oh, that was a crazy night. That was almost every fight on the card was a finish that night, I believe.
Yeah, it was. Good knees again from Bowers.
Bowers just doing such a good job of slowing Bautista down. He's matadoring him with that clinch and those knees.
You're 100% right, Dylan. Bautista was just coming out too much like a boxer, and Bowers has really good clinch game and more of a Muay Thai style.
It's very heavy on that front foot.
I always find it interesting to see the different fighters between the round. Bautista sitting down, Bowers choosing to stand. I've done both. It kind of just depends on my mood that day, I guess, and the things I'm working for that specific fight.
It can also change based on like you said, specific fight, specific opponent. You get in there, you think you're going to do one thing, and then you're like, oh, this guy's only using his lead foot and leaning on it very heavily. What if I kick it and sweep him?
And sometimes your corner kind of like persuades you into one or the other. They'll tell you sit down or
stick to the game plan, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that both these guys have great corners. Ronan Kickboxing got a lot of experience here, particularly at Fight For It. And then that TKO team is kind of slowly but surely, they've creeped their way up the ranks and become quite a feared team in the area.
Both good schools, lots of good schools on the card tonight. So I knew we would see some really good fights. Bowers again using the clinch, got double unders this time.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see from the stronger clinch fighter, is him controlling the action and putting Bautista's back against the fence. It's very clear to me that he's winning the clinch, but when his back's against the fence, how's that look to a judge?
Yeah, the judges are never going to be favorable to the person. Wow, good strong left hand from Bautista. Bowers trying to slow him down with some kicks again. But Bautista might have some success here trying to break off and throw heavy hands off of the cage. Bowers has to spin him off the cage from there. It's too dangerous to get accidentally knocked out like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the cage versus the ring too, is when you're in the ring, you can sit back into those ropes, right? Like you were saying, and kind of swing your hips out.
I've seen knockouts from people bouncing off the cage right into a heavy hand, which right here is exactly what we're seeing.
Yeah, Batista's doing a great job, frankly. He's really needs to do this kind of job to win a round, to get some points on the board here.
Yeah, this is a very good third round for Bautista. Man, if he came out like this earlier, he's very aggressive, throwing really heavy punches. Look at that, beautiful left straight again with a nice right hook.
And now he's doing a pretty decent job of avoiding the tie-up for the most part. He got caught right here, but he avoided the first 2 attempts very nicely. Oh, that was
almost a low one.
Looked like it was low, but I'll take the fighter's word for it.
Yeah. And again, Bautista, this is a very good third round for him. Heavy hands, doing a much better job of quelling that clinch game that Bowers had. Has his back against the cage now. That just shows the knowledge of Bautista as a fighter. He's learned from those first 2 rounds. Unfortunately, it might not be long enough, but
a great first fight to start us off here tonight. 33 fights left, and when the first one is that good, I have strong hopes for the rest of the card, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know a lot of the fighters tonight, and I'm very excited to watch them throw down.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm a lot of these guys, obviously, Fight For It always likes to recruit from the same pool, right? So if you fight on Fight For It and you have a good fight, most of the time, your next fight's also going to be there. They're going to invite you back. And after a fight like that, I can see both these young men getting invited back for sure.
Definitely, and Fight For It, what a fantastic promotion. A lot of the debut fighters tonight don't realize how lucky they are to be fighting in a convention center.
Absolutely.
I mean, people used to fight in
Where was your first fight?
Lots.
I was about to mention the Mirage Strip Club. I was about to mention that.
I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
But I was lucky enough, my first fight was also in a convention center, and I couldn't believe it because the fights I had been to, again, the strip club parking lots, I fought in a horse barn one time.
I remember Kevin Satterfield getting ready for his first fight, was getting his hands wrapped inside the strip club, and the girls who were inside didn't know that a fight was going on outside. They were like, why is this person just sitting here getting his hands wrapped?
The outdoor fights too, like the sun beating down on you, it changes so much to the game. This is such a good venue with a nice temperature-controlled, regulated
I think Fight For It learned their lesson on that one.
Oh, for sure.
You remember that.
I do. But man, what a fantastic promotion to be able to put this on with this many fights.
You know, it is the first fight. It's the first fight. Maybe the commission's taking a little longer to add up the scorecards so they're getting in the flow. But in my experience, when it's taking this long to add up the scorecards, it's because they're very close. And they want to be like, oh, let's make sure that we've got the right person, the right name. Who knows what we're about to see
you don't
unfold
want
here.
To pull a John Travolta and shout out the wrong name as the winner.
Steve Harvey. Or that's more recent. Most of the kids watching won't remember the John Travolta thing.
Probably don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Starting to show our age, I guess. Looks like they're finally getting ready to tally in the scorecards.
I mean, you've been in there as the fighter, and you've been in there as the coach. What's worse during this moment of waiting for the scores to be read off? Like
the coach.
The coach's role, right? Yeah.
Because when I'm fighting, I know for certain. The few times I've had to go to decision, I've known in my heart of hearts, like, damn, I did not get that, or like, oh, I mauled that girl. There's no way. But as a coach, I don't know. It's like watching is so much more nerve-wracking. Watching my husband, I feel like I'm gonna like poop my pants at Toro Cup.
What a match that was.
And he dominated
last weekend.
I'm much more calm when it's me because I feel like I'm in more control that way. But when it's my students or my husband, it's, there's so much that is out of your control. I can only do so much coaching from the sidelines. Now when it's other people, I like when it's neck and neck. It's super exciting. But not when it's my people. When it's my people, right. I want it to be, when you never have to.
Very one-sided. I want it to be over in 5 seconds.
When you never have to worry about this, as if you knock them out or get your submission.
Yeah, this is taking an I see Chris from the commission over here, and he's counted these cards about 4 times now. So I'm thinking it could be close.
I mean,
and that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, when a judge sees somebody landing knees but they're backing up the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
Do they
It
know
makes
what
it
they're
difficult.
looking at? Do they know exactly what they're seeing there? Who knows?
All right, here
let's
we go.
see.
Kickboxing to the center of the ring. Our judges' scorecards are in by 29-28 victory. Fighting out of the red corner, Alejandro Bautista.
Wow, they must have swayed the second round.
I think that could definitely be the case, because while he was taking a more voluminous number of shots, he was backing up the entire time, or he was backing up his opponent the
Exactly
entire
like
time.
you said. I talk to my students about that all the time. I'm like, you know, if you're deflecting every shot and slipping and weaving, but you're moving backwards, that looks so bad in the judge's eye. My first coach, Neil Weaver, always like drilled that into our heads. And, you know, just how close this match was really speaks to Jonathan and Marcelo's matchmaking skills, because that was a close one.
Absolutely, and it speaks to the strength of the two gyms as well.